Fun fact, I already recorded this video yesterday. The file was corrupted, so here we go again. What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and welcome to an impromptu Saturday chat and chill topic, where we sit down and we talk about one topic in the King of Fighters All-Star community for, about 15 minutes. In this week's installment, as I mentioned in the intro, we are going to be talking about something that I had not planned on talking about in today's video. In fact, this was supposed to be yesterday's video. Like I said, it was a corrupted file, couldn't upload it in time because, well, I had other things I had to go do. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about this topic in today's video because, to be honest, there isn't a whole lot to talk about in the King of Fighters All-Star community this week anyway. So why not just go ahead and sit down and talk about the other character on the EX Volume 7 banner, EX Haohmaru. The reason I wanted to go ahead and talk about this so badly that I went ahead and made it a Saturday chat and chill this week is because this is an absolute ridiculous beast of a character, and I'm going to show you guys some stuff that you've probably never seen a character in this game be able to accomplish in today's video. The numbers you're going to see out of my unawakened level 90 Haohmaru in this video are pretty much akin to what we were seeing out of A5 characters this time last year, and it's pretty darn crazy. But before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe, and let's just go ahead and get into this week's topic. So let's go ahead and take a look at EX Haohmaru. Now this character of course has a leadership ability that increases extreme fighters' active skill damage by 30% and their finisher skill damage by 20%. He is a green balance type fighter. Overall, his leadership ability, not the worst, but not necessarily anything that we need to worry too much about in today's video. In fact, whenever you talk about EX Haohmaru right now, and unfortunately, he has been a bit overshadowed by his banner mate, which is EX Nakoruru, which we've already done a video on, so if you have not seen that video, check it out, link will be in the description. But EX Haohmaru is not going to be left in the dust. No, this character is too good for that. And when you talk about EX Haohmaru, most people automatically think, oh, well, TBR. In order for this character to be as good as I would like him to be, I need to get his EX skill, so I need to fully max him out because this EX skill changes all of his other skills and makes them just that much more ridiculous. And yeah, I get it. He resets his skills. He fires off finishers like crazy, just like Nakoruru. But Nakoruru, I prefer her. Yeah, I get that, and I understand where you're coming from. But what if I told you you don't even need to awaken this character? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So with this character right here, Limitless, of course, is going to be the big talking point with him because this is a brand new EX skill that is absolutely bonkers. So I totally understand why everybody is talking about it. This is the one that's going to give you maximum power every 1 second for 10 seconds and decreases your active skill and your finisher skill cooldowns by 80% upon using it. And like I just mentioned, it is going to go ahead and change the multipliers of your effects on your skills for all of your skills, which is really, really cool, right? So you'll see here that this guy right here, if I don't have it on, these guys are no longer the supreme versions of what they are. But if I go ahead and click on it, then you'll notice that they are all Supreme Cyclone Slash, Supreme this, Supreme that, etc. So that is what that skill is going to be giving you. It's absolutely broken, you are right, and at A5 this character is doing ridiculous obscene damage, you are correct. However, this character, again, does not need to be awakened, and you're about to find out just how good this character can be at level 90 when I get you to the footage. But let's talk about the kit, right? So this character has pretty much what you'd come to expect from a character in his kit besides the Limitless effect. He has that 30% power gain. He's going to have increases to his crit rate, his crit damage, etc. However, this character has resets galore. This character is also going to be a character that wants to do what Nakoruru was trying to do in that video I made on her, which is fire off his finishers constantly. So if we take a look here on the first exclusive core, he's going to reset all of his active skill cooldowns and increase his active skill damage by 150% for 6 seconds upon using a finisher skill. He decreases the target's defense by 90% and increases damage received by 65% for 6 seconds when dealing physical damage to the enemy on a cooldown of 10 seconds. And then he's gaining damage immunity for 4 seconds when his HP is 20% or below on a cooldown of 10 seconds. So this character, I will tell you right off the bat, while he does have several different things in his kit that are going to mitigate damage to him, he is going to be a bit squishy with the build that I have in today's video being a level 90 character. However, you're going to see one of the only times ever in this game outside of just being a gold character that the Fess version of Kim is actually useful, and we'll talk about that in regards to that when we get there. But this character, with what I am doing in this video, is a bit squishy, keep that in mind. However, it is totally obtainable, these numbers that you're going to see today, as you'll see, but I did do that using a specific striker that I just mentioned. So spoiler alert, you can look forward to that later on in the video, all you Kim fans. But this character, like I said, wants to reset those skills, wants to get those finishers going. He has that damage immunity, you'll love to see it. And this guy right here is actually really, really good for increasing your target's damage received. So really good stuff. Now, when it comes to Way of the Sword, he's immune to stun and freeze. He recovers 5% HP when attacked while affected by burn, shock, or starlight on a cooldown of 3 seconds. This can be useful in things such as Deimos base. The immunities are also kind of nice, but not necessarily anything that I'm super invested in or worried about in today's conversation, because this doesn't necessarily come up as much anymore outside of PvP, Deimos base, and specific instances. Now, he also preserves 50% of his damage received and recovers 10% of the preserved HP every time an active skill lands. So this is going to be another character that has this preservation core, so good stuff as we've seen over the course of the past couple months with these characters to keep them alive, and that is what you got as far as the force. Now let's talk about the skills. We were over here a little bit ago, but let's just go ahead and talk about them. So first up here, I am going to turn off Limitless because, well, I don't have it obviously, being that mine is unawakened, and we will take a look at that here momentarily, but just stick with me. When it comes to the S1 on Cyclone Slash, he increases his attack by 140% for 10 seconds and enters a Fury state for 7 seconds, which deals physical damage equal to 250% of attack to the target every time a skill lands on a cooldown of 7 seconds. Pretty standard stuff. This character actually, when you take a look at the skills, seems like he's pretty straightforward, right? And that's because he is, and I like that. I like these simple characters, the ones that are pretty much offering you everything that they've got right on a surface level. You can pretty much tell what you're getting into. I like that, instead of just having giant novels of text in here, right? So next up here, on Crescent Moon Slash, he's increasing his critical rate by 30% and critical damage by 120% for 15 seconds upon using it. And then finally on Earthquake Slice, he is going to have his interrupt. This is going to be used when limited to standing or airborne, and he gets hyper armor for 4 seconds because of course he does. He has an interrupt on it, and then he stuns all enemies for 3 seconds upon use on a cooldown of 6 seconds. So pretty standard, but then when we get to the finisher, the core finisher to be exact, we notice that he also has another interrupt. So like Nakoruru before him, he is going to have a interrupt on here of standing, airborne, or knockdown on the core finisher, and he increases his finisher skill damage by 35% upon using it, and it stacks up to 3, but resets when tagging out, and then he has a 100% chance to reset his cooldowns upon a successful attack on a cooldown of 9 seconds. So that is going to be what you get on the kit for this character. Again, a character that resets his skills, wants to fire off a lot of finishers, and overall is pretty obvious what this character is trying to accomplish. However, like we had talked about with Limitless, I had shown you guys briefly there, so you'll notice now that we've talked about all those, that these overall effects are going to just bump up in power. So you're going to see the difference here. So like for instance, if we go ahead and turn this off, you're going to notice a physical damage equal to 250% multiplier on here for Cyclone Slash without Limitless. And then if we go ahead and turn on Limitless, it's 275%. So that's what Limitless is giving you besides that reset and being able to fire off those skills so often. And that's what everybody likes to talk about with this character. But again, guys, I say unto you, you do not necessarily need it. It just makes him an absolute god, right? But let's take a look at something real quick here, because I do want to go ahead and point something out. So he is going to have an effect on his finisher. His 3PG finisher increases his critical rate by 5% and his critical damage by 30% for 10 seconds when using it. So another really nice effect on here. But let's talk about some other things here, like the build, and let's just get into the footage, because I want you guys to see just how good this character can be before he is gone, and I want you to be able to see just how good he can be, more importantly, like I mentioned throughout this video, at level 90, right? So when it comes to the build, as I've mentioned before, I do not have the newest card set, so therefore I am using this guy right here. If you guys have that new set that is currently running for this banner, you would want that for this character, obviously. I don't have it, so I'm running this right now. And as far as option cards are concerned, I'm running pretty standard stuff for option cards for this character, because they're going to be some of your skill cooldown decrease, kind of crit-based option cards for your EX characters. Pretty obvious stuff for most any of your EX characters nowadays as far as what you'd be using. You can use any of the other good ones on there, but that's what I'm using there. Now, when it comes to the imprint stones, pretty easy because I don't have anything on here because this character's level 90, so that keeps it simple. But overall, that is going to be what you guys are going to see as far as the build on my version of this character. And then when it comes to anything else, I had mentioned to you earlier that I did use and find a use for Fess Kim here. So in my run against Omega Rugal, you'll notice I use this Kim as a striker. The reason for it is because actually just this middle text, he recovers 7% of his HP when using an ultimate move, Haohmaru does, which is absolutely ridiculous because you'll notice because he fires off so many finishers, he almost never takes damage, or at least doesn't sustain any real damage throughout the fight. It's actually pretty bonkers. So I have found a use outside of gold farming for Kim here. So if you guys want to try that, go right ahead. But you will see that in today's video. And I will have a clip of Inferno Guild Raid solo using my Haohmaru. And then I'm also going to have a Spider Robot clip in here because this guy is unawakened, able to completely and utterly solo Spider Robot for you so you can get all those prizes each and every single day pretty quickly. So overall, this character is just bonkers. Yeah, guys, this character, I know this has been an overdue video. I'll show you my fame real quick so you see what I've got. I know this video is long overdue. This character, though, is incredible. If you guys want this character, I highly suggest him. He's kind of ridiculous, and this game has just gotten to the point where things are silly, right? I mean, a character being able to go in and put up the numbers you're about to see unawakened, just to me, as a person that's played this game since day one, it's crazy to see how far the game has come, especially being that we had a gold border Haohmaru in the past that I do have, and just being able to compare the two, it's crazy to me. But anyway, you guys, enjoy the footage. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button and subscribe, and let me know in the comments section down below if you have EX Haohmaru, how you feel about him. And yeah, I would love to hear it from you guys. But anyway, you all take care. Enjoy your weekends. Peace.